formerly suicidal redditors. What's something that kept you alive a little while longer and helped you to get through the dark times in your lives? The few friends who still stayed in contact with me, they were the small glimmer of light who kept me in this world. For me it was my nieces. They were babies when I started having suicidal thoughts. But I kept thinking, they'll never get to know me if I kill myself. I would think of them saying, I have 2 aunts on my dad's side, but one of them killed herself. I didn't want them to say that. Now, I don't really have a relationship with them, because I don't have a relationship with my brother, but at least there's the possibility of one in the future. My cat helped me to keep going. Unfortunately she passed away, but I keep going with her in mind. What has helped me is to keep my mind busy at all times. I work on my YouTube videos or paint a lot. It keeps me focused on just that. I'm still depressed and suicidal, but haven't had an episode as I call them for some months now, except some days. Mood. When I was in high school, my 3 pets kept me alive. I wanted to stay in the world with them. Sadly they have all since passed away now. My 3 current pets help me, and I love them to bits. But it hurts in an indescribable way for the 3 who originally kept me alive to no longer be alive when I am. I adopted again. When my Titan passed away, he kept me alive. Every breath I take with him not alive hurts. Like he did so much for me, and in the end I couldn't save him from death. All I could do was hold him and say I was sorry and that I loved him. Losing pets is indescribably awful. It's the inevitable price we pay for all the years of love they have to give us. Even with how much this hurts, I could never wish I never knew him. He was my baby boy till the end, and I'm grateful I have thousands of pictures to remember him by. Knowing that my mum wouldn't have someone to walk her down the aisle when she married my now stepfather. My dad had died 3 years prior, and I think it would have broken her completely. Hurting people was mine too. Even if it's just a janitor or cop. I don't want to make sad work for anyone ever. I finished a suicide note and folded it into my wallet on the bus ride back onto base after a weekend of binge drinking on the beach to avoid every person I could. When I got back to the barracks I looked at my rack mate and told him exactly what I wrote down in that note, and instead of making things worse he genuinely helped me and reminded me that not every Marine is meant to do a full term. Sometimes things just don't go as planned, and it's okay to take that DD 214 early. Even if it will disappoint your family, we still talk around the holidays every year. Edit. Thank you for the award. I've never received one on Reddit to my knowledge. I would also like to add that, if anybody reads this, and you feel somewhat lost while in the military, don't be afraid to go to medical and talk about it. It happens unfortunately often where speaking directly to your chain of command will not help things and word can travel fast. But there is absolutely nothing wrong in seeking help to allow yourself to be the best Marine/sailor, or whatever title you gave your all to achieve. It's just harder in some units compared to others. That's awesome of them. Glad you two keep in touch. It'd be weird if I died and still had packages coming in the mail. So I try to keep something coming that I can look forward to. I used to really enjoy going to gigs. So when I was struggling with depression I'd make sure I had tickets to see a band I liked. On the particularly bad days, I'd think it'd be silly to do anything before I see them play. Seems a bit silly too, right? But it worked for me. I guess have something to look forward to, whatever it is. The thought that any of my students might look at my decision and choose to follow in my footsteps. I could accept my own death, but I couldn't stand the idea of this. When I was in 6th grade my science teacher committed suicide. It scarred me. I promised to myself to never kill myself because I didn't want anyone to feel the pain I felt on that day when they announced this to everyone. My 7th grade geography teacher committed suicide. He was so congenial, almost robotically friendly, and our whole inner city public school class walked all over his authority, not in the sense of being mean to him, but of not listening, not paying attention. Everyone out of their seats socializing. General chaos. One day near the end of the year he completely snapped and started cussing us out up and down. We were all in disbelief and shock. A few months later we found out he killed himself. Left a family behind. At the funeral his wife said he had always struggled with mental health issues. It was really heartbreaking. Edit. Clarifying the walked all over part. My 9 years old daughter. About 18 mths ago I was in a very bad place, but I'm a single dad, and I would not do anything to hurt my daughter. She's very lucky to have you. I hope you find peace someday. I can always kill myself. So why not keep pushing just another day? I used to say that when I was getting clean. Every single day for over a year I'd say I'm getting high tomorrow, 11 years clean now. All that held me back was the feeling of guilt for how my family would feel. I couldn't do it to them. I used to think, I can't do it because my parents would be crushed. Eventually, even that wasn't enough. I found a thread on Reddit that was nothing but comments and stories from people whose loved one committed suicide. That did it for me. I sobbed because it took this ambiguous notion of it would hurt mom and dad and turned it into something more concrete, instead of just knowing they'd be upset. That thread helped me see how it would affect them in the long term. I turned to that thread several times over a 2-year period. I haven't had to read in a long time. But I think that thread did help save my life. I'll have to search for it when I get home and share the link. Edit. Looks like you/Akpquin found it for us before I got home. For anyone who's curious, this is the thread. https://www.reddit.com/r/Squreddit/comments/22y9f7/serious_parents_who_have_committed/. I'm talking about. It helped me a lot. Though your mileage may vary, I imagine plenty of people might find it more upsetting than helpful. Edit 2. I've gotten a ton of messages and replies from people thanking me for sharing the link and saying they're struggling with suicidal thoughts and ideation. I want to add something for those of you who are in the spot I was once in. You know that stupid saying, it gets better? Well, it really does get better. I was diagnosed with PTSD and severe chronic depression and anxiety in my 20s, and I was suicidal for several years. I finally got help. It wasn't a quick and easy fix. It literally took years and lots of work. But the important thing is that getting help was the turning point. I've put my life back together, and I'm doing really well. And although I do sometimes slip back into severe depressive episodes, just climbed out of one. In fact, I can remind myself, I've got this. I've beat it before, and I know I can do it again, even if it feels like I can't. Apostrophe. The guilt if I failed and everyone found out. It sounds like you have people that you care about and who care about you. I hope you get to spend some time hanging out with them and enjoy yourself soon. Stubbornness. When I was in middle and high school, the first time I was suicidal, I thought I wouldn't make it to 25. When I got out of that I decided I was going to make it to 25. Damn the torpedoes. Full speed ahead. I'm 25 now, but I made it this far. If the mental illness wants me dead so badly it needs to shut down my organs and kill me its damn self. Because I'm not going anywhere. Also, my pets. I don't want to be without my pets. They were the only things that made me happy. And even when I didn't feel like anyone else loved me, I knew they did. That's inspiring AF. I was suicidal and taking Xanax, but I took too much on accident. I could feel a weight on my chest type of feeling. I was scared shitless from it. The day after, when I finally felt like I was able to do something, I adopted a puppy. She's been my reason to get up in the morning for over a year. I'm so glad that caring for a dog helped you in that way. I struggle a lot with suicidal thoughts and I have pretty severe bipolar disorder. I want so desperately to adopt a dog because I know it will improve my mental health significantly. Dogs have always had such a huge impact on my life. Every day I almost drive to a shelter and pick up a dog. Every day I look online for adoptable puppies. It feels like my heart is yearning for them, but I can't adopt because I'm in an incredible amount of debt and have lost my job to my mental health and applied for disability benefits, which was denied. No income. So I have no options. And sometimes thinking about that makes me feel even worse because I know what will make me better, but I can't justify the expense. I lost everything in the pandemic and in this horrible stage of my life. And I just have to be dogless and lonely because of it. Breaks my heart. If you have extra time, you should check to see if your local shelter has volunteer opportunities. The shelters in my area are always looking for people to help walk and care for their dogs. It's not the same as owning a dog full time, but you might really enjoy it. Hopefully getting some pup time in will tide you over until you're able to adopt. This is actually a wonderful idea. Thank you so much. And happy cake day.